आप सभी महानुभावों का हम हार्दिक स्वागत
अरे
करते हैं।
नहीं यार, इस लाइव वेबिनार
आयुष समृद्धि ज्ञान गंगा के 1659वें पड़ाव पर आप सभी का पुनः हार्दिक स्वागत। आज हम टाइगर्स डे सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं। मैं बंगाल का रहने वाला हूं, जहां सुंदरबन में रॉयल बंगाल टाइगर की एक अलग ही पहचान है। और कोलार में अब रह रहा हूं, तो वहां टाइगर कभी भी आजकल बिल्कुल चले आते हैं। तेंदुआ और चीता और बाघ रोड पे चले आते हैं और जानवरों को लेके चले जाते। तो वही चीज, बाघ कितना भी शक्तिशाली हो, उस पर बैठने वाली हमेशा सत्ता शक्ति की रही है, मात्र शक्ति की रही है। मैं तो ये जानता हूं कि शक्ति का होना एक अलग बात है, और शक्ति का सही उपयोग में लगना ये एक बहुत बिल्कुल ही अलग बात है। तो मैं आज टाइगर्स डे के उपलक्ष्य में केवल एक अपील करना चाहूंगा कि भले ही वो खूंखार जानवर है, उसके साथ दोस्ती मत बढ़ाइए। जैसा यूनाइटेड अरब अमीरात, पाकिस्तान में लोग रोड पे लेके शेर निकलते हैं, ऐसी दोस्ती मत कीजिए। हमारे यहाँ वेस्ट बंगाल में नवरात्रि के दिन एक महानुभाव पूरा बोतल लेके गले के अंदर और माला पहनाने बाघ को, बाघ के बारे में घुसे थे। वो बेचारे एक थप्पड़ सहन नहीं कर पाए और वहीं उनके प्राण पखेरु उड़ गए। तो बिल्कुल बाघ से दोस्ती अच्छी नहीं है, लेकिन वो निरीह जानवर जो अपनी आत्मरक्षा में या अपना पेट भरने के लिए खाता है, प्रकृति ने उसे यही देन दी है, फिर भी उसका संरक्षण बहुत जरूरी है। नहीं तो हम एक अपने बच्चों से ये कहते रह जाएंगे कि बस एक टच हिलो बाघ का है डोरा डोरा दाग। ये बंगाली में कहावत है, कविता है कि भाई एक बाग था जिसमें लाइन लाइन से दाग हुआ करते थे। बाघों का स्वास्थ्य, बाघों का आहार विहार, बाघों से सोशियोलॉजी, इकोसिस्टम, ये बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो हमारे आदरणीय विद्वान, महान विद्वान डॉक्टर एन डी शर्मा जी से हम सुनेंगे। डॉक्टर शैकत बसु कनाडा से जुड़े हुए हैं, उनसे हम सुनेंगे। और हमारे गायकवाड़ साहब जुड़ेंगे, हम उनसे भी इसी विषय में, प्रोटेक्ट विद सेफ्टी मैंने टाइटल रखा है। स्वागतम, स्वागतम सभी का। आदरणीय अग्निहोत्री सर, ब्रीफ।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद प्रोफेसर पवन शर्मा जी। हम लोग नए पायदान पहुंच गए हैं तो 1659वीं में, और जैसा कि आपने बतलाया हमारे इस पूरे मंच को कि हम टाइगर्स डे के लिए आज यहाँ पर एक विषय लेके आए हैं। निश्चित रूप से टाइगर हमारे लिए इतना श्रद्धेय है क्योंकि परम शक्ति स्वरूपा के वो साथ रहते हैं, हम ये कहेंगे विराजमान होती हैं परम शक्ति। और उस हिसाब से चाहे वो टाइगर है या लॉयन है, दोनों ही उसी ग्रुप में श्रेष्ठता रखते हैं। और उसके बारे में अधिकतम जानकारी देने के लिए, क्योंकि वो जब चूंकि सर्वशक्तिमान है तो वो रहते भी अपने हिसाब से हैं, तो मानवीय दृष्टिकोण से या मानवीय दखलंदाजी नहीं होनी चाहिए उनके स्वतंत्र जीवन यापन में। हाँ, हम अब टाइगर सफारी वगैरह हो गए, लोग देखने दर्शन करने जाते हैं, अलग चीज है। तो आज हमारे अतिथि वक्ताओं में डॉक्टर एन डी शर्मा साहब लखनऊ से, बहुत विद्वान और बहुत ही हमारे वरिष्ठ हैं, उनके आशीर्वाद मिलेंगे। साथ में आपने गायकवाड़ जी का नाम लिया और वो जुड़ेंगे। और बड़ी अच्छी ये चर्चा रहेगी कि टाइगर्स के लिए हम उनकी प्रोटेक्शन एंड सेफ्टी, हमारा दृष्टिकोण ये है कि हम टाइगर्स डे तो मना रहे हैं, उनका संरक्षण, उनकी सुरक्षा कैसे हो। और मानवीय दखल के नाते या अर्बनाइजेशन के नाते या वनों के खत्म होने, जंगलों के खत्म होने के नाते, ये एक इकोसिस्टम में जो इम्बैलेंस डेवलप हो रहा है, उससे जरूर एक दहशत की स्थिति बन रही है। तो इसके साथ साथ ये बहुत बड़ा विचारणीय विषय बनेगा। और डॉक्टर शैकत दोस्ती जी भी इस पर अपने विचार रखेंगे। तो आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। और इसी क्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए हम प्रोफेसर पवन शर्मा जी से निवेदन करेंगे कि वो आज के अपने अतिथियों को आमंत्रित करने की कृपा करें। नमस्कार।
मैं आदरणीय डॉक्टर एनडी शर्मा जी को सादर आमंत्रित करता हूं उनके विचारों के लिए। आप भी आ चुके हैं, शेखर जी भी हमारे साथ हैं। आलोक जी नमस्कार। मैं डॉक्टर एनडी शर्मा जी को सादर आमंत्रित करता हूं उनके विचार। आदरणीय डॉक्टर एनडी शर्मा सर, प्रणाम सर, काइंडली अनम्यूट।
हाँ पवन जी प्रणाम।
प्रणाम सर, प्रणाम सर। आदरणीय डॉक्टर एनडी शर्मा जी, प्रणाम सर, प्रणाम सर।
आवाज आ रही है?
आ रही है, आ रही है। आ रही है सर, आ रही है, क्लियर आ रही है।
आवाज आ रही है? नमस्कार। नमस्कार।
प्रणाम सर।
अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाघ दिवस 29 जुलाई 2024 के लिए मनाया जाता है, मनाया गया है इस साल। और ये बाघ की जो प्रजाति है, ये वाइल्ड लाइफ के अंदर, ये वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट के अंतर्गत 1972 के अंतर्गत प्रतिबंधित है। आवाज आ रही है? आवाज आ रही है?
क्लियर आ रही है सर, क्लियर आ रही है, क्लियर आ रही है।
क्लियर है? अच्छा, ठीक।
कोई भी प्रॉब्लम होने से तुरंत हम आपको आशीर्वाद
हाँ,
देंगे।
बता दीजिए। तो ये मैं सबसे पहले आपको एक फोटो दिखाना चाहता हूँ। ये आप क्लियर देख रहे हैं? ये फोटो दिखाई दे रहा है?
जी आ रही है, थोड़ा सा नीचे करिए, इससे आप भी दिखते रहे। हाँ
देखिए,
जी।
मैं उसकी दिखा रहा हूँ, टाइगर की।
आगे आगे ये आगे सर।
अरे क्योंकि ये अपने आप में एक बड़ा स्पेसिफिक एनिमल है कि जो कि वाइल्ड लाइफ के अंदर, अंडर वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 1972 के अंतर्गत ये प्रतिबंधित है। लेकिन इस समय ह्यूमन पॉपुलेशन के बढ़ने की वजह से एक ह्यूमन और एनिमल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जो है वो बहुत बढ़ रहा है। और स्पेशली टाइगर के चूंकि लिए ज्यादा स्पेस की आवश्यकता पड़ती है। और इसमें इस समय दो प्रजातियां ऐसी हैं कि जो कि जिनका की संरक्षण बहुत ही आवश्यक हो गया है। वैसे फिर भी अगर देखें तो राष्ट्रीय पशु बाघ की संख्या वर्ष 2018 में यूपी के अंदर 173 से बढ़कर के 2022 तक 205 हो गई। बाघ और बाघ के पाकतवास के संरक्षण में अपना यूपी काफी आगे है, क्योंकि तकनीकी नवाचार के प्रयोग से बाघ संकट की नई दिशा अब आजकल आ रही है मैदान में। और विश्व के 75% बाघ भारत एवं बाघों की संख्या की दृष्टि से उत्तर प्रदेश देश का 8वां स्थान। यानी एक बहुत ही अच्छी सूचना है ये कि हमारे पूरे भारत के अंदर जितने भी बाघ हैं उनका 75% केवल हमारे भारत के अंदर है। और उनका 8वां हिस्सा जो है अपने उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर है। तो ये बाघ जो है वो हमारे लिए धार्मिक दृष्टि से भी और वन्य जीवन व संरक्षण की दृष्टि से भी सभी प्रकार से बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण। इसको मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ। इन द पास्ट 50 years the planet has experienced rapid growth of human population, development, urbanization, deforesting hundreds of million acres of forests across the globe along the way. As a result, wildlife is losing more habitats and foods by the day. According to a 2020 analysis, the sixth mass extinction of wildlife on Earth is accelerating, with more than 500 species of land animals on the brink of extinction that will likely be lost within the next 2 decades. As India is one of the most densely populated countries in the world, it comes as no surprise that human activity and land development are increasing rapidly. These are just 10 endangered species in India that are under threat and urgently need protection. और इसमें से 2 बीस जो हैं एशियाटिक टाइगर्स और अपना इंडियन टाइगर्स जो हैं, बंगाल टाइगर जिसको कहते हैं, ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट। ये दोनों टाइगर्स का एक्सटिंक्शन जो है इस समय लगभग समाप्ति के कगार पर है। बंगाल टाइगर्स account for about half of the world's total tiger population. यानी कि विश्व के अंदर जितनी भी पॉपुलेशन है उसकी आधी पॉपुलेशन जो है वो हमारे भारतवर्ष के अंदर है। 70% of which can be found living in India. Though this black cat is an adaptable animal that can live in various habitats. यानी कि इनका जो हैबिटेट है जंगल और जंगल के आसपास का एरिया, दोनों के अंदर ये सुविधाजनक ढंग से रह लेते हैं। लेकिन इस समय चूंकि कंक्रीट के जंगल बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, इसलिए एक ह्यूमन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जो है बढ़ता जा रहा है, और जिसकी वजह से कि हमारे जो 1972 वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट है उसके अंतर्गत जो पोचिंग हो रही है, उस पोचिंग के विरुद्ध जो अभियान चलाए जा रहे हैं कि किस तरह से इन टाइगर्स का प्रोटेक्शन और प्रिजर्वेशन किया जा सके, ये एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण समस्या हो गई। Though this big cat an adaptable animal that can live in various habitats, including forests, mangroves, wetlands, and has the ability to cope with hot or cold temperatures. Bengal tiger population have plummeted over the years. The animal has been endangered following decades of persistent poaching for its skin and body parts. क्योंकि इसके जो बॉडी पार्ट्स हैं उसके लिए भी विभिन्न मेडिसिनल यूज के लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं, और बहुत से जो कहना चाहिए हमारे स्टिमुलेंट्स हैं उनके अंदर इनका बहुत अधिक प्रयोग किया जाता है। तो ये इसकी वजह से इनकी पोचिंग जो है वो बहुत मात्रा के अंदर बढ़ती जा रही है। The animal has been endangered following decades of persistent poaching for skin and body parts, trophy hunting, and severely reduced habitat from urban development. ये एक सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट फैक्ट है कि इस समय वन की पास की जो जमीनें हैं उन सब के लिए अर्बनाइजेशन के अंतर्गत जो लिया जा रहा है उससे कि इनकी हैबिटाट के लिए स्थान बहुत ही कम होता चला जा रहा है, और ये एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या है। यद्यपि प्रिवेंशन ऑफ क्रुएल्टी एक्ट एंड प्रिवेंशन ऑफ वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट, ये दोनों एक्ट्स ऐसे हैं कि जिनके अंतर्गत इनके लिए काफी सुविधा प्रदान की गई है कि जिससे कि इनका संरक्षण और संरक्षण के अंतर्गत इनका प्रजनन भी अच्छी प्रकार से किया जा सके, इनके लिए स्थान उपलब्ध कराया जा सके। The species now live in just 7% of the historical habitat range, with fewer than 2,000 individuals left in the wild. यानी एक बहुत ही वैसी स्थिति है कि केवल 2000 एनिमल्स जो हैं इस समय वाइल्ड के अंदर दिखाई पड़ रहे हैं। In a densely populated country like India, human wildlife conflict is also a contributing factor to its dwindling numbers. तो ये जो एक समस्या है इस समय कि जो कंक्रीट के जंगल बढ़ते चले जा रहे हैं, उनके कारण बहुत ही आवश्यक हो गया है कि इनका प्रोटेक्शन और, प्रिजर्वेशन के संबंध में वन विभाग, पुलिस विभाग तथा और एनिमल हस्बेंड्री से संबंधित जो संस्थाएं हैं, उन सबका योगदान के साथ ही जब सम्मिलित योगदान होगा तभी इनके लिए हम सुरक्षित रख पाएंगे। द टाइगर पैंथागोरा is essentially found in India, is a member of the genus Panthera and the largest living cat species native to Asia. It has a powerful muscular body with a large head and paws, a long tail, and orange fur with a black, mostly vertical stripes. ये वर्टिकल स्ट्राइप्स जो हैं, ये इसकी बड़ा स्पेशलिटी है कि जो कि किसी और के अंदर नहीं पाई जाती वाइल्ड के अंदर। लॉन्ग टेल, ऑरेंज फर with black, mostly vertical stripes, it is traditionally classified into 9 subspecies, though some recognize only 2 subspecies, maintained Asian tigers and the island tigers of the सुंदर आइलैंड्स। ये केवल 2 हैं जिनके लिए कि हम रिकॉग्नाइज करते हैं। इसका की प्रिजर्वेशन इस समय बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण हो गया है। बाकी और जितनी स्पेसीज हैं उनके एवज उनका जो है वो सारे विश्व के अंदर संरक्षण किया जा रहा है। आवाज आ रही है? आवाज आ रही है?
आ रही है सर, आ रही है, आप कंटिन्यू करिए।
हाँ, वो जब कोई हाना ही नहीं होती तो समझ में आता है
नहीं
कि
नहीं
पता नहीं सुनता है।
नहीं, कोई बाधा होगी तो तुरंत सूचित करेंगे, अभी बिल्कुल सही चल रहा है।
The tiger, Panther's tiger, is a member of the genus Pantherus and the largest living cat species native to Asia. It has a powerful muscular body with a large head and paws, a long tail, and orange fur, black, mostly vertical stripes. It is traditionally classified into 9 recent subspecies, though some recognize only 2 subspecies, maintain Asian tigers and the island tigers of the Sundarban Islands. तो ये एक हम कह सकते हैं कि इस समय जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाघ दिवस मनाया जा रहा है उसका मुख्य उद्देश्य यही है कि किस प्रकार से हम इन जो हमारी बड़ी कैट्स हैं इनका प्रिजर्वेशन और प्रोटेक्शन और उन्नयन किस प्रकार से किया जा सके, क्योंकि जो पोचिंग की स्थिति है वो इस समय बहुत ही भयावह हो गई। जगह जगह पर इनकी खाल के लिए, इनके नाखूनों के लिए, इनके दांतों के लिए और इनसे बनने वाली कुछ औषधियों के कारण इनका प्रोटेक्शन जो है वो बहुत कठिन हो गया है, जिसके कारण इनकी संख्या जो है वो काफी घटती चली जा रही है। और ये संख्या इतनी घट रही है, जैसे कि मैंने बताया कि हमारे यहाँ जो है करीब करीब अपने यूपी के अंदर केवल 173 बाघों की संख्या बताई जा रही है। और इसलिए ये आवश्यक हो गया कि इन बाघों के प्रति हम ऐसे ग्रुप्स बनाएं कि जो ग्रुप्स जो हैं एनिमल प्रोटेक्शन ग्रुप्स या एनिमल वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन ग्रुप्स, जो कि केवल सरकारी संस्थाओं के अलावा इनके संरक्षण के संबंध में, अभी कल प्रधानमंत्री जी का जब भाषण हुआ था तो उन्होंने एक बात कही थी कि इस प्रकार के ग्रुप्स बनाए जाएं और जिससे कि इनके संरक्षण और इनके प्रति प्रशिक्षण लोगों के लिए दिया जाए, जिससे कि इनके अंदर ह्यूमन के अंदर जागृति पैदा हो कि किस प्रकार से ये हमारे जो जंगली पशु हैं इनके संरक्षण कर करके हम इनकी संख्या को न केवल बढ़ाएंगे, बल्कि हम अपने प्राकृतिक वातावरण के लिए भी एक संरक्षण प्रदान करेंगे। और जो हमारे प्राकृतिक संरक्षण की आधारभूत सुविधाएं हैं कि एक दूसरे के प्रति समन्वय और एक दूसरे के प्रति प्यार, जैसे कि आपने अभी कहा था कि ये थोड़े वाइल्ड होते हैं इसलिए इनको खतरा लगता है, लेकिन जब ये अपनी टेरिटरी के अंदर रहते हैं तो ये ज्यादा खतरनाक नहीं होते, क्योंकि वहां पर इनके खाने पीने की व्यवस्था ऑलरेडी, क्योंकि चीतल हैं, दूसरे और एनिमल्स हैं जो कि इनका भोजन है। ये तालाब वहां पर अक्सर रहते हैं जिसमें कि इनके स्नान की व्यवस्था अपने आप कर लेते हैं। और इसके अतिरिक्त जो विभिन्न बीमारियां हैं इनके अंदर, जैसे कि पैरासिटिक इन्फेस्टेशंस हैं, स्किन की बीमारियां हैं, या इनके अंदर जो विभिन्न परजीवियों की बीमारियां हैं, उनके लिए भी जो कैप्टिविटी के अंदर है उनके अंदर तो हम स्पेशलाइज्ड ट्रीटमेंट कर सकते हैं। लेकिन वाइल्ड लाइफ के अंदर उनका कठिनाई, क्योंकि उनके लिए दवा देना या उनके लिए उस प्रकार से प्रकृति के अंदर, क्योंकि कभी वो मिलेंगे कभी नहीं मिलेंगे, कभी एक साथ मिलेंगे तो कुछ ज्यादा खा जाएंगे कुछ कम खाएंगे, तो इस प्रकार से उनकी सुरक्षा जो है प्राकृतिक ढंग से ही ज्यादा संभव है। जी, आपने कुछ कहा? हेलो? कि प्राकृतिक ढंग से जो हमारे कभी कभी इनके लिए भोजन के साथ साथ में, ये भोजन तो अपना प्राकृतिक रूप से लेते ही हैं, लेकिन उसके अतिरिक्त जंगल के अंदर कहीं कहीं पर नमक भी डाल दिया जाता है, कहीं कहीं पर मिनरल्स पेड़ों के ऊपर छिड़क दिए जाते हैं, जिससे कि ये अपना भोजन के साथ साथ उनके लिए विभिन्न मिनरल्स की रिक्वायरमेंट पूरी कर लेते हैं। तो ये एक प्रकार से जो हमारा बाघ का संरक्षण है वो इस समय बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दा बन चुका है। और इसके प्रति काफी विश्व के करीब करीब 75% बाघ जो भारत में हैं उनकी संख्या के लिए किस प्रकार से बढ़ाया जाए, कैसे उनका प्रजनन किया जाए, कैसे उनका उन्नयन किया जाए, इसके ऊपर आजकल काफी प्रयोगशालाओं के अंदर बातचीत भी चल रही है और इसके ऊपर काफी बातें चल रही हैं। मैं समझता हूँ कि इसके अतिरिक्त जैसे कि कुछ बीमारियां हैं, जैसे कि टेप बाउंस हैं, हीमोपोटोजॉन्स हैं, ये बीमारियां हैं कि जिनके लिए कि हम मेडिसिन के रूप में, जहाँ पर कि इनके खाने के बाद स्थान पर जहाँ पर ये खाते हैं जंगल के अंदर भी इकट्ठे होते हैं, वहां पर भी हम इन चीजों के लिए रख सकते हैं। और जो कैप्टिविटी में है, जैसे कि जू के अंदर है, सर्कस के अंदर है, तो उनके लिए हम प्रभावी ढंग से इन सारी बीमारियों से इनके लिए प्रोफाइलेक्टिक वैक्सीनेशन के द्वारा और प्रोफाइलेक्टिक ट्रीटमेंट के द्वारा इनकी इस स्थिति के लिए हम अच्छे से अच्छा रख सकते हैं। उनके लिए क्योंकि कैप्टिविटी के अंदर स्थान देना संभव है, लेकिन वाइल्ड के अंदर उनको स्थान देना उतना संभव नहीं है, क्योंकि जो आजकल कंक्रीट के जंगल बनते चले जा रहे हैं उसके कारण पोचिंग की संख्या तो बढ़ रही है, लेकिन इनके रहने के स्थान की संख्या घटती जा रही है। आज सरकार इसकी तरफ से काफी, कहना चाहिए, विचार कर रही है और चाह रही है कि जो वन क्षेत्र हैं उनकी सीमाओं के लिए और बढ़ाया जाए और इनके प्रोटेक्शन के लिए चारों तरफ फेंसिंग आर्ट किया जाए कि जिससे कि ये ह्यूमन पॉपुलेशन के अंदर एंटर न कर सके। लेकिन फिर भी कभी कभी जबकि इनका भोजन की समस्या होती है या केवल कुछ घूमने की दृष्टि से बाहर निकल जाते हैं, उस समय के लिए काफी एक आतंक का वातावरण बन जाता है। और उस आतंक से निपटने के लिए इमीडिएटली वाइल्ड लाइफ वार्डन्स जो होते हैं उनके मैं फोन नंबर भी दे सकता हूँ, उनसे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं और उनके कांटेक्ट करने के पश्चात उनके लिए हम और उस स्थान पर उनके लिए डाइवर्ट कर सकते हैं कि जहां पर कि उनकी आवश्यकता है। ये मैं कुछ नंबर भी देता हूँ कि जिनसे कि जिन स्थानों पर एक तो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है कि पर्यटन स्थल, जनजातीय क्षेत्र, दवाएं बेचने वाले व्यक्ति, शहर के जीव जंतु बाजार, पालतू पशुओं की दुकानें, रेलवे स्टेशन, चर्म प्रसाधक, कश्मीरी व्यापारी, तिब्बती व्यापारी, इनकी संख्या जो है वो आर्थिक दृष्टि से काफी बढ़ रही है। और इनकी संख्या बढ़ने की वजह से कोचिंग की मात्रा जो है वो भी बढ़ रही है। ऐसे में हम चीफ वाइल्ड लाइफ वार्डन भारत सरकार से संपर्क कर सकते हैं। इसके अतिरिक्त एडिशनल इंस्पेक्टर ऑफ फॉरेस्ट वाइल्ड संपर्क कर सकते हैं। ये लोधी रोड नई दिल्ली के अंदर इनका स्टेब्लिशमेंट है। इनका फोन नंबर अब तो चेंज हो गया होगा, बाकी 436228 है। और प्रजातियों के संबंधित विशिष्ट योजनाओं के निदेशक उदाहरणार्थ उनसे संबंध कर सकते हैं। निदेशक प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर से बातचीत कर सकते हैं। बीकानेर हिल हाउस, शाहजहानपुर रोड, नई दिल्ली 338442 निर्देशक ट्रैफिक इंडिया, WWF भारत 172 लोधी एस्टेट, भारतीय जीव जंतु कल्याण बोर्ड। ये ऐसे स्थान हैं कि जहां से कि इनके संबंध में भी जानकारी ले सकते हैं और इनके प्रोटेक्शन के संबंध में भी इमीडिएटली आप संपर्क कर सकते हैं, जिनसे कि इनकी सुरक्षा और संरक्षण किया जा सके। मैं समझता हूँ इसके अर्थ जो विभिन्न बीमारियां हैं उनके संबंध में मैंने बताया कि पैरासाइटिक डिसीज हैं, टेपांग्स हैं, हीमोप्रोटोजॉन्स हैं, ल्यूकोपिनिया है, बैक्टीरियल डिसीज है, टीबी है, कफ है, फूड इनटेक है, लॉस ऑफ वेट है। ये ऐसी चीजें हैं कि जिनके की वाइल्ड लाइफ के अंदर तो एक डेफिनेट जगह पर ही इनके लिए रखा जा सकता है कि जिससे कि प्रोफाइलेक्टिक मेजर्स किए जा सकते हैं। लेकिन जहां पर कि कंफाइंड रखते हैं वहां पर पर्टिकुलरली हम सीजन के हिसाब से इनके लिए ये दवाएं और वैक्सीनेशन का कार्यक्रम चलता रहता है। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ और कोई आवश्यक चीज मैं समझता हूँ हो तो आप बात पूछ सकते हैं। हेलो।
बहुत ही शानदार सर,
जी।
बहुत ही शानदार। आप
बहुत
जब
बहुत
बोलना
धन्यवाद।
शुरू करते हैं तो सम्मोहन की तरह होता है वो। बहुत उत्तम, अति उत्तम। धन्यवाद जी।
मैंने कहा और कोई चीज इसके संबंध में
नहीं नहीं,
जानकारी।
आपका बहुत अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन। आप बने रहिए, अभी हमारे दो एक तीन वक्ता और हैं, तो उसके बाद हम चर्चा कर लेंगे। अब किसी को कुछ और
ठीक
जिज्ञासा होगी
ठीक।
तो आपके
मोस्ट
आपके
मोस्ट
आशीर्वाद की जरूरत
मोस्ट वेलकम,
पड़ेगी।
बहुत बहुत स्वागत।
ये बहुत धन्यवाद आपका, बहुत धन्यवाद। आप इतना सहयोग करते हैं, हम लोग बहुत आभारी हैं आपके। आ, इसी क्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए अगले
लेकिन
मैं
ये ना जब
शैकत
सूचना
बसु जी को,
सूचना समझम सुबह दे दिया कीजिए।
जी जी
सूचना लेट
जी
मिलने से
जी।
दिक्कत हो
आज
जाती है।
हैट्रिक रहा ना, थोड़ा सा डॉक्टर साहब थोड़ा मूवमेंट में
हाँ
थे, तो वैसे तो कल का दिन था, 29 जुलाई को था,
हाँ,
तो
कल का दिन
सोचा
था।
कि आपका आशीर्वाद मिल जाएगा तो बन जाएगी आज वेबिनार आपने टाइगर वाली भी।
हाँ, नहीं, कल तो मैं
जी।
तैयार था, लेकिन आज जो था ना वो एकदम पता चला।
कल 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 संभव नहीं था, कल समय की बहुत कमी थी।
हाँ,
मैं अब डॉक्टर शैकत
चलिए
कुमार
बहुत
बसु जी
बहुत
को
साधुवाद।
सादर
और
आमंत्रित करता हूँ।
बहुत ही आवश्यक
आई
ये
वुड
एक
लाइक टू
प्रकरण
इनवाइट
है
डॉक्टर शैकत
जिसकी
कुमार
इसमें
बसु
देश
जी।
के लिए आवश्यकता है।
डॉक्टर शैकत बसु।
Ji, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be on this platform. Nice to see Agnihotri ji, Sharma ji. Thank you very much. And we already had the celebration of the World International Tiger Conservation Day on July 29th. I was busy attending various platforms on that. And I am very, very glad that Ayush also has incorporated this on their program. Just for a quick check, Sharma ji, I am also included in the next webinar.
जी
आपके आपके नेक्स्ट
यस
वेबिनार में भी
यस।
मेरा प्रेजेंट।
Yes.
ओके ओके। Okay. Once I complete this presentation, I'll be offline for a little while because I have to attend a few phone calls and then I'll be back. So don't worry. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Tiger conservation. As our
Your
previous
video
speaker,
is not on, Sekar ji.
मेरा वीडियो like is causing disruption. वो वॉइस कट शायद कट जाएगा, इसीलिए आई हैव केप्ट इट ऑफ फॉर द टाइम बीइंग. ओके, अगर ठीक होता है तो आई विल गेट इट ऑन. Hello, can you
Yes,
hear me?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, tiger conservation, the situation of global tiger conservation around the world, including there are 13 countries which are involved in tiger conservation, not just India. So there is Russia, there is China, there is India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, and we have the Southeast Asian countries of Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, etc. But the challenge is outside India. I think we have to give great credit to the government of India, and a legacy of Project Tiger conservation has initiated for a long time during the period of Srimati Indira Gandhi ji. And down in this time, Tiger Project has now been integrated with elephant conservation. So I think with the increasing number of tigers in India, in whatever number they have increased, is a significant success of the government of India and the conservation effort that the number of tigers in India has increased. Although I would like to say that there is a bit of controversy from global experts on population census of tigers conducted in India and around the world. Possibly you know that for a long period of time, tiger census was conducted mostly on the basis of the pug marks of tiger, which means the foot imprint of the tiger was taken into consideration. And this is how tiger evaluation and the population census was done around the world, not just in India. But research has established that this is not a very successful or a very foolproof method of interpreting a tiger population. It is not very easy to separate one tiger from another just based on their pug marks. However, so mostly over a long time in India, international reports have included that based on pug marks, the tiger evaluation that was suggested was possibly a bit higher than the actual population was existing at that particular point of time. Or there has been instances of many states, for example, North Bengal has been used to be a very good tiger habitat, and very little tigers have been reported from that area based on this census. Also, various parts of Orissa, where tigers used to be there, very little tigers has been detected there. So because we could not, there has not been much detection of pug marks and stuff. And there is also an overlapping that this same tiger has been counted in various quadrants across the forest, inflating their numbers. So now it has been replaced with the stripe pattern. So there are cameras that are placed across the forest along the tiger habitats, and these are motion sensitive cameras. So as soon as the tiger crosses their path along the focus of the camera, they will capture the image of the tiger. This camera trap is not only valuable for tiger evaluation or the population of tiger estimation, but they're also very much valuable for identifying other species, whether birds, whether reptiles, whether animals, or any other cats such as leopards and others which are present in that same forest could be detected. So these are called bycatch collections. So your main idea is to get the census of tiger. You are trying to get capture as many tigers as possible from these banding patterns that are captured in the camera. But at the same time, you will also get pictures of other animals. So you get an idea of the biodiversity of the particular forest. So this is a very helpful method, a modern method. Including, in addition, there is DNA analysis now being conducted from the stools, or even where there are, if it is possible to collect fur and other tissue samples, blood samples from tigers. These methods are now incorporated. Telemetry method is also incorporated, where various radio collars are placed in and trying to track the tigers as they're moving, and if you have different collars, you can track how many tigers are there. But these becomes very expensive, tedious, and sometimes many tigers do not like these collars. There has been many instances where collar has been placed on a female tiger, and it has been found that after an entire breeding season, no male tigers approach that particular female tiger for breeding, because this collar, possibly they get a human smell, or possibly they get some kind of a sound or a beep or some kind of thing that is disrupting in their breeding cycle. And this has been reported across the world. Like this telemetry method is very successful, that you can track the animal, but whether that animal is interested, or whether the animal feels comfortable having that track, has been they're having radio collars and stuff. So in spite of being a very efficient method, how it is placed on the body of the tiger or big cats, it's not becoming very successful in in making it an acceptable and very useful method from the point of the animal, not from the point of the human. So multiple methods in modern countries are being used to evaluate the tiger population, because it is not like a door-to-door approach that we can do for an animal. It is not possible that you knock a door to door from tiger 1 to tiger 2, take their census, take their samples, and identify their family status and stuff. Being animal, there is a random chance, and there is a 5 to 10%, even sometimes 15% chances of error in getting a proper estimate of the population of the particular tiger. There in India now, we also have tiger, other than tiger census, elephant census, lion, leopards, all these are being now brought under various kinds of census, because being apex predators or becoming flagship species like elephant in an ecosystem, if tiger is healthy, if the tiger population is stable, you can be rest assured that the health of the jungle is also very stable, because then they have the successive prey species and stuff. So 75% of the global tiger population is present in India. We have around 9 species, subspecies of tiger around the world. And Bengal tiger, or the Royal Bengal tiger as we call it across India, the Indian subcontinent, it is the predominant number. And we find this in the countries like India, Nepal, Bhutan, and adjoining Bangladesh. I have been advocating for a long time, because tiger is a migratory animal, and animals do not understand or appreciate any international border. It is quite possible, and it always has happened, that tigers from Nepal will migrate into India, or tigers from India will migrate into Bangladesh or adjoining Bhutan, or adjoining countries. It's a very healthy practice. It's a practice for finding their prey. It's a practice to avoid crossbreeding. If they move into different habitats, it is healthy that the gene flow from one group, biogeographical country, a region, is being transferred to the other. I have always advocated that adjoining countries, where like such as all the tiger countries are very closely related, they are border connected, right? So Russia has border with China, China has borders with India, India is connected to Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and then Myanmar has border with Thailand, Thailand is connected to our Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos. The only long gap is between Indonesia and Malaysia, of the oceans in between, and then Indonesia, Malaysia is all there. But the challenge is, other than India, most of these countries has not been very successful in tiger conservation. In whatsoever reason, we know the reason, and the reason is a famous country, which I called is the enemy of the world, is China. Chinese traditional medicine has a hocus pocus system of using tiger bones, tiger body parts, eyes, testes, nails, skin, everything that they can put together into Chinese traditional medicine. And excuse me. And unfortunately, in China, a huge significant part of the population in China is dependent on this traditional Chinese medicine. Not that modern research and report has indicated that all these animal-based traditional system, which is concentrated mostly predominantly in China and then in Vietnam, has no scientific basis. They do not have really any medicinal properties that they have been claimed for, but the faith in the people for this traditional medicine using tiger bones and other tiger parts is so high in this country that they sponsor international poaching teams to go into other countries, cross international borders, get hold of tigers and kill them and bring them there. Now, because China has been getting a very bad name internationally, because every international conference that you will go, all important, significantly famous scholars in wildlife, tiger conservations, everyone puts finger towards China. And this whole black market in China, wildlife trade, tiger bone, pangolin killing and stuff, is supported by the Communist Party of China under the table. So there is a very strong government support, because this is a billion-dollar industry in China. And sometimes what they are selling as tiger bones in China is not actually tiger bones. Research have indicated on the DNA analysis of many tissues and body parts used that sometimes what is being sold in China as a tiger is not at all a tiger. Sometimes they are sold body parts of jaguar, leopards, other small cats and stuff. So this hocus pocus medicine has no value as such in curing any disease, but the faith in them is so strong that it has created a billion-dollar industry. And the dictatorial government of China, because it controls every significant market there in both legal and illegal, has a strong influence and a strong support for these illegal market, which operates in big cities in China under the nose of the Chinese government, where they take no action or they do lip services saying that China is taking active steps in protecting them. The other countries where this is a great challenge, particularly with respect to tiger bones, is Vietnam and Indonesia. I am not sure if you are aware of, Vietnam used to have another species of tiger. Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam, these countries have another subspecies of tiger, which is called the Indo-Chinese tiger. Very similar to Royal Bengal tiger or the Bengal tiger or the Indian tiger that we see here in the Indian subcontinent, but they have their own genetic characteristics and represents a separate subspecies. Now, because of these challenges, the Cambodian government has officially declared that they almost possibly have no more tiger left in their wild, the Indo-Chinese tiger. The Vietnam government has officially declared that the last one or two wild tigers that they could have been detected has been poached and killed. So these three countries, particularly Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, whatever tiger census population they provide to the International Tiger Forum, I think is fictitious, or they are faked or forged documentation. Absolutely, the tiger has become extinct there or almost to the verge of extinction. Recently, the Vietnamese government has signed up a treaty, and on the auspice of Prime Minister Modi, there has been talks about, say, having some surplus tiger, Royal Bengal tiger or Indian tiger, being translocated into Vietnam slowly so that they can do some captive breeding and build up the population and release them in the wild. Although I do think that it is very important to do trans-country migration, trans-country exchange of wildlife, because we are losing them. But for these particular species of tiger, I personally, as a scientist, have some concern. The concern is that I do not have any objection of giving Indian tigers to Vietnamese zoo or breeding centers to have tigers for educational purpose, for conservation purpose. But I do have concerns for releasing these tigers into the wild in Vietnam. I'm not concerned that Indian tigers will not be able to adapt to Vietnamese ecological conditions. I am more concerned that adjoining countries, because tigers are migratory species and sometimes they cover and cross thousands of kilometers. So it is quite possible tigers released into Vietnam, or which is Panthera tigris, the Indian tiger or the Royal Bengal tiger, may accidentally come in close contact with the Indo-Chinese tiger, which is another subspecies. And there could be breeding or wild crossbreeding among them, which is not a good news for wildlife and conservation purposes, because hybridization of pure species in the wild, because this is not considered to be a real good species, it impacts their genetics. and it is not considered to be a true species, and it's greatly negated by all international conservation agencies. But there is a chance that there could be crossbreeding between these two species, because there is huge geographical barrier between Indo-Chinese tiger and Indian tiger. Southeast Asia and South Asia may have forest connections, but still there are huge mountain ranges and other accessories, rivers, etc., that separates these two by geographical zone. So evolutionary, these two tigers have developed into two separate subspecies. But allowing them to get into these environment may result in crossbreeding, which may dilute the genetic quality of both Bengal tiger down the line, as well as Indo-Chinese tiger. A long time back, maybe around 10-15 years back, there are very much reports about tigers seen in Arunachal Pradesh, and there are proposed tiger projects in Arunachal Pradesh, and these are Bengal tiger, Indian tiger. But there has been sightings of tiger along the unprotected Indo-Myanmar border, 1600-kilometer border adjoining Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Nagaland, and Manipur. This unprotected border is extremely wild, extremely no construction, extremely forested, and there are reports of tigers being seen in these areas from local communities who live adjoining the Indo-Myanmar border. I have a concern, particularly for tiger sightings coming from Myanmar, Mizoram, particularly Manipur and Nagaland, that possibly these tigers are not Indian tigers. These are not the Royal Bengal tigers. Possibly they are seeing what it is the Indo-Chinese tiger, which also crosses distances, makes migration, and possibly comes along the Indo-Myanmar border. And sometimes they have been seen. One female tigress was killed in Nagaland around 10-15 years back. Unfortunately, I tried a lot to, through my friends and others, to communicate, at least to do a DNA analysis of that particular tiger to identify whether it's a pure Indian tiger or an Indo-Chinese tiger from Southeast Asia that has moved into Nagaland. But nothing of that sort could have been done. Unfortunately, in spite of India having all the biotechnological resources, we could never know. I have a suspicion that there is a migration of Indian tigers into those Myanmar areas and Indo-Chinese tigers. So there could be a possible process of hybridization that may happen there, which is also not a very good news with respect to wildlife conservation. The other good news that I have recently got to know that I have always advocated that adjoining governments, say for example India and Bangladesh, needs to work together on tiger conservation, because there is tiger migration in the Sundarban region. Tigers from the Sundarban parts of the West Bengal state in eastern India moves into Bangladesh, and Bangladesh tigers also move into Indian territory, because for them it's a continuous biogeographical region. They do not understand international border. But to protect them successively, there needs to be a treaty between the government of India and Bangladesh so that they can jointly operate. The foresters, the customs, the border security forces, and all other intelligence could work together, and this could have helped significantly in tiger conservation. But I have recently got to know that this has actually turned true, and the government of India has transboundary migration, of tiger animals, particularly with Nepal, Bhutan, and Bangladesh signed, and this is now in place. There are various model natural resources areas that inhabit tiger and that which cross international border has been taken into consideration. So, which is a great welcoming report. But at the same time, because Myanmar government is not actually a democratic government right now, and they are going through a chaotic period for a long time, there is no such transboundary migration arrangement between the India-Myanmar government, and I think there needs to be. It's a 1600-kilometer long border that lacks security, that lacks protection, and also has a huge forested areas that needs protection and joint surveillance from both these two countries. Even I had the opportunity to visit the Indo-Myanmar border. I'll tell you that whether you are standing in India or whether you are standing in Myanmar, you will never know. There is no army, there is no post, there is no forward post, there is no military, there is no police. There is nowhere, there is undisrupted movement that you can reach the Myanmar border. You can cross the river and get into Myanmar. At the same time, people from Myanmar can get very easily into India. This is a very, what I call is the soft belly of India. And I do not know why the government has kept this as so much unsecured for such a long time. It could turn out to be one of the downfall for modern India, because it is a point of infiltration for, poachers, human trafficking, drug trafficking, terrorist movings, and infiltrators coming in and out. And it's a totally forested area. Without the help of the armed forces, it is not very easy to maintain sanctity, peace, tranquility, as well as surveillance in these areas. But if you pay a small amount on Indian side of the border, there are people who can easily take you to the Indo-Myanmar border, and you won't even know whether you are standing in India or Myanmar, because there is no border demarcation, no army, nothing. Anyways, so this is one of the challenges. The other challenges for India's story of tiger conservation is a comparatively success story. Now, as I mentioned, the camera trap that captures the pictures of the tiger, I had the idea that the banding pattern that is captured by the camera is then evaluated by computers. Because without a computer evaluation, if human eyes start evaluating the banding patterns of tiger, there is always a chance of making a mistake, and it is not easy to understand whether you could differentiate between a closely looking banding pattern from one to the second tiger. These banding patterns are different, but they are also very close. So there should have been softwares, and I have read in many places that there are advanced softwares that do comparison, but I may be mistaken. But the information that I got through many channels is that this is being done manually. Now, I am not sure if this information is 100% correct, but if these banding pattern evaluations of tigers are done manually without the help of advanced softwares, I am saying that it is not so easy to differentiate between such banding patterns so easily by human eyes, and there are bound to be errors. So we could either inflate the number, so you are projecting higher number of tigers than actually are present in India, or you are projecting lower number of tigers than actually are present in India. It is also not very clear to me whether juvenile tigers or baby tigers are also taken into consideration, because a tigress may have 4 babies, 4 pups growing up, 4 tiger cubs growing up, but out of 4, maybe 1 would reach adulthood. 3 of them die at a very young age. They are subject to predation by other male tigers. Sometimes they die because of diseases. Sometimes they're attacked by other animals. Sometimes they do not get enough food. Sometimes if the mother has accidentally died, all the cubs that are born to that mother will die out eventually, is because they are extremely dependent. They are 100% dependent on their mother for learning how to hunt, for food, for milk, for learning every skill in surviving in the forest. So if a female mother tiger is accidentally killed or dies due to any natural other reason, all the cubs are going to die, because they could not survive on their own as long as they're dependent on their mother. So whether these cub population are taken into consideration or not, it is not very clear. Or if they are taken, whether they should be taken into consideration as their population is not stable. Most of the cubs, it is said that around 80 to 85% of the cubs in the wild, for all kinds of wild caught, do not survive, do not get a chance to see second or third year of their survival. It is a nature's law, because they want to keep the number of predators at a balanced level so that it has a steady supply of their prey bases. If the number of tiger increases to unprecedented level, as has happened in Gujarat, the number of lions in the sanctuary there, in the Gir sanctuary, has become so high. 500 is not a very high number, but for one particular sanctuary or adjoining areas, it is very high density, because cats need a lot of space, personal space. Otherwise, they will start having conflicts with one another, and the weaker ones would come out of the forest and move into human settlements. As it happens in case of leopards, as it happens in case of snow leopards, lions, same is the case for tiger. So in some areas, as has been reported, that the Panna National or the Kanha National Park in Madhya Pradesh may be having higher number of tigers that they could not sustain anymore in that particular ecosystem. So I think it is a good decision by the government of India to translocate some of these tigers into other premier tiger habitats, like for example North Bengal, Odisha, and other areas which used to be a prime tiger habitat, but now they are having less number of tigers, or their habitat has been completely deprived of tigers. Or it is not a bad idea to exchange tigers with Bangladesh, Nepal, or Bhutan, is because this is the same Royal Bengal tiger, and we could get better genetics through their crossbreeding down the line. But exchanging with Southeast Asian countries where they have a closely related subspecies, I think is a risky factor. Other than that, the tiger conservation in other parts, other countries are not going very good. Whether it's in the number of population of tiger in Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam is fictitious. I do not believe that they have a very true estimate of the tiger number. Many of them are going through political instability, fights, wars, and stuff. And at the same time, they do not have very well organized forest departments who could do such proper evaluation. So the numbers they are providing to the International Tiger Agency, unless they are audited and visited by international agencies, I have strong doubts on their numbers. The number of tigers in Thailand has increased thanks to the conservative efforts of the Thai government. And same is in case of Indonesia and Malaysia, that the existing Sumatran tiger and the Indonesian tiger is showing some recovery, but their number is not as high as it is in case of, there's only 150, 180s down there in case of Indonesia, Malaysia, around to 300 something odd numbers in Thailand, around similar numbers in Bangladesh. And because the main tiger concentration of Bangladesh in the Sundarban region, all other areas in Bangladesh have become completely vacant. There is no more any tiger in other ecosystems. We do not have proper evaluative number from, particularly from what you call is from Myanmar. Sorry, from Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos. Third is China. China used to have two separate species of tiger. One is called the South China tiger, and the other is called the Amur tiger, which is also called the Usur tiger or the Siberian tiger. Siberian tiger is found in the northern parts of China, adjoining the Russian border with them, and it's definitely found in Siberia. They used to be found in parts of Japan at one time. They used to be found in the Korean peninsula at one point of time. They have become extinct in Japan. They have become extinct in Korea. They have become, I take guarantee in saying they have become extinct in China. But they have still habitats in Russia, is because the Russian, what you call the Siberian region, is a huge, massive region. And surveying across this huge area covered with snow has not been very successful. The only place in India where you could get a glimpse of the Siberian tiger is the Himalayan Padmaja Naidu Zoo in Darjeeling in West Bengal, where they have brought such tigers from Russia, and they have these captive tigers. If anyone has a chance to visit Padmaja Naidu Zoo, they will be able to see the tigers there. You will be amazed to see how big the Siberian tigers are. Now, having said that, South China tiger has become extinct in China, but there is a rich Chinese industrialist who lives in South Africa, and she has handbred some of the South China tiger, which is extinct in the wild, but was present in the breeding colonies down there. She has created a population out of that in South Africa. She has a range of her own, and she's trying to make them wild. So there is no official tigers in entire Africa. A tiger is not a native animal of the African continent, but in South Africa, she has a range of her own where she collected this captive bred South China tiger, which has become extinct in the wild in China. She is breeding them. She has increased their number to a particular level. There are lots of programs we will see on the BBC Discoveries and stuff that they have covered this. So the South China tiger is still not extinct under breeding areas, but they have become extinct in the wild. Now, China has a huge demand for tiger bones. So they have artificially bred the Siberian tiger in various programs down there. So China has a substantial population of Siberian tigers. But unfortunately, these Siberian tigers are not released into the wild. They raise them and they secretly slaughter them. It is just like maintaining a poultry, or, like a beefery or like a goatery, where you raise your goats. Once they become adult, you consume them for the meat and you breed them and stuff. They do the same thing with the tiger, because every part of the tiger is sold at a very, very high price in China. So under the auspices of the government, saying that they're working towards conservation, they have collected this animal and they have done artificial breeding. They are doing, all kinds of in vitro fertilizations and stuff, and has very successfully breeding Siberian tigers, but these are not released into the wild. The other huge substantial population of tiger is in a very different country that we will be amazed to hear. I will ask anyone to take a guess. Possibly it will not be possible for you to take a guess unless you know. One of the biggest number of tigers in the world, more than what we find in the world, around 4,000 tigers, are actually found in United States of America. Now, tiger, just like it's not found outside Asia or Eurasia, they are not found outside Asian countries or in outside Russia. How did the tigers came to United States? It's separate breeders who like breeding tigers for different colors. As you could know that there are various color morphs of tigers available other than the yellow tiger, that which is the normal body color or the fur color of the tiger. They have various mutations, and as a result, we get white color, we get slightly golden colored tiger, and also orangish, and also a mixture intermix of these. Now in Orissa recently there has been detection of melanistic tigers, where they are not completely black, but they have much stronger black stripes present on their body. It has been photographed in Simlipal. Golden tiger, which is one of the rarest color morphs in the wild, has one of them has been pictured during the COVID time in Assam, in Kaziranga forest. So all these color mutations are available, and they breed them particularly for these color mutations. When you do a lot of these crossbreeding, why they are not considered wild is because they are completely raised in the cages, and there is a high chance, as the government of USA says, that these are interbred animals. So there is a lot of hybridization. So there is a breeding between Malayan tiger and Bengal tiger. There is breeding between Siberian tiger and Bengal tiger, or breeding between Bengal tiger and maybe Indo-Chinese tiger. All these are mixed population, and then if they have fertile hybrids, they have interbred fertile hybrids. So these are not pure racial species of tiger that are available in United States, but for park purpose. Anything you are saying, Professor Sharma?
जी टाइम बहुत हो
Yeah. So this is where the number of tigers are there in huge numbers, but these are of no use in the sense, but because we cannot use them in our genetic pool or for the purpose of breeding. This is artificial breeding for raising them in the zoo. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. It has been a pleasure to share my thoughts and views, and I consider that we will still be able to consider the tiger conservation successfully. Thank you very much.
आप इतना अच्छा समझाते को रोकने की इच्छा नहीं होती आपको, आप भी और सर भी।
we have to limit the time, so कोई बात नहीं है। और एक बात का जरा करेक्शन कर दूं, शर्मा जी कुछ देर पहले कह रहे थे कि टाइगर इज अ वेरी पावरफुल एंड आल्सो एग्रेसिव एनिमल, और लाइक ह्यूमन से ज्यादा एग्रेसिव एनिमल मैंने तो अभी तक देखा नहीं, इतना डेंजरस एनिमल। आई थिंक टाइगर्स और लायन तो उसके पास तो एकदम बच्चे हैं।
क्या बात,
द वर्स्ट एनिमल ऑन दिस प्लैनेट इज ह्यूमंस।
एक्सीलेंट, बहुत अच्छा। अब मैं सैमसंग के नाम से डॉक्टर गायकवाड़ जुड़े हैं क्या? डॉक्टर गायकवाड़ साहब,
I'm here.
वेलकम।
Yeah. Actually, today is International Tiger Day, and actually this has started in 2010, I think. And from that time, actually, world tiger population was that time it was very low actually. So I think around 3,000 might be there actually. So all efforts, worldwide efforts are made to increase the population of the tiger. So first aim is to increase the population. So conservation, increase the population, reduction in the poaching, etc. is an important cause. So wherever the tiger is there, so tiger environment need to be improved. Then only this proper breeding as well as the conservation will be possible. So here even sometime smuggling, or many countries they are using bones of the tigers, claws of the tigers for the various purposes, either religious, medicine purposes, etc. So such things need to be avoided. If suppose because these particular species is now some of the species or subspecies they are almost at the phase of the extinction actually. So in order to otherwise in near future, some of the species, subspecies will be seen in the only picture. So to avoid all these things, actually, we have to conserve.
need to have a conducive environment for the breeding purpose, etc. And minimum thing will be the whenever this suppose government is now planning for they have declared tiger reserves, etc. in many countries, etc. And because of that, actually, the minimizing this poaching. So efforts are made to minimize the poaching. Smuggling should be avoided. Many time even survival rate of the cubs, etc., that need to be improved. Their food habitat, etc. Even encroachment of the human population. Now, actually, there is a human-animal conflict is also there. That is also one of the important cause in major metropolitan cities as well as nearby the forest, etc. So wherever because human population as it is growing and they are migrating toward the encroaching in the forest actually. And because of the encroachment in the forest, many times this animal and human conflict will be possible. Some people they may be demanding for the skin of the tigers, teeth, claws. So that is also important. If people are taking avoiding such type of the articles, etc., then definitely poaching and other thing will be reduced. The another thing will be the whenever suppose for they are doing even now this tiger reserves are declared actually, and government is making efforts for the conservation actually. Otherwise, there is some of the places only zoos, those who are having a captive tigers, etc. They remain, and they are paying now attention toward the proper plant breeding. At many places, there was a inbreeding problem was there. So generally, in inbreeding, there will be the problem, genetic problems, etc. may arise. At some of the zoos, I have seen actually there were the paralysis cases, spinal deformities are there. So such conditions are arising because of the inbreeding conditions. So now that's why this they will be planning for the proper breeding strategy. Even genetic mapping they are doing, and with this there will be the possibility of a proper conservation of a pure tiger species or particular breed. In our country, Bengal tiger is important, and worldwide actually acceptance for the Bengal tiger is more. Siberian couple of years back, only one tiger was found at Nainital region, Himalaya region, and subsequently even that tiger was also died. So now we are seeing in the either articles will be there or trophies will be prepared, etc. Such type of things are there. If earlier, if we take a history, so during various kings, etc., or landlords are there. So they were keeping such type of the trophies. Now it is a ban. So no one should demand for the particular articles from the wildlife or particularly from the tiger, etc. So if people's contribution and prevention of the demand for the particular such type of articles. So definitely if it is uh, raised, such type of the questions are raised actually, then whoever the poachers, etc. are there, so they will not get money because they will be killing the tigers for the cost of money, and this breed will be getting extinct for that. So to avoid all these things, the poachers to be prevented from such type of the acts. That will be the important thing. So vigilance
Right.
of the forest, vigilance of the people contribution, animal lovers, and plant breeding. is important actually. So genetic banking and genetic mapping will be important for the maintaining of the pure breed. Otherwise, in some of the places like liger, etc. So there will be the crossbreeding will be there, and many time fertility issues are there. So preferably such things to be avoided. So proper plant breeding is important actually for that actually. Another thing will be the if even animals are in the captivity. So with captivity also there should be a proper healthcare provision should be there. There should be discussions. Mortality rate need to be reduced. So facility for the
Right, sir.
proper management and
Ji,
diagnosis
sir.
should be big part. Another thing will be the
Sir.
if cubs are maintained properly. Many times metabolic disorders are quite common in the cubs, etc. And they may even prone for the either multiple fractures, etc. Or they may expose for the various injuries, etc. So in that condition also need to be. I have seen some of the metabolic disorders. Recently, I have seen even endocrinological disorders are quite common, and it
आप म्यूट हो गए हैं. You are mute. Your voice is not coming, sir. अरे you are mute, sir.
डॉक्टर गायकवाड़ जी, आपका माइक ऑफ हो गया है, एक बार अनम्यूट करिए.
invader in
यस, ओके, आ गया.
टाइम भी
forest.
कंप्लीट हो गया है.
Hello.
जी, आ गई आवाज, आ गई.
हाँ.
जी,
So
कंप्लीट करिए.
टाइम भी
whenever
हो रहा
the
है.
invaders,
टाइम याद दिला दिए कीजिए सर.
यस सर, कंप्लीट करिए,
हाँ,
कंप्लीट करिए.
अच्छा टाइम खत्म होता है.
हाँ, अभी
ओके
आगे हमें एक और करना है.
2 वेबिनार हो
ओके.
गए.
2 वेबिनार अभी पेंडिंग में है और 2 आ गए हैं.
अच्छा ठीक है. So only this maintenance of ecology and environment conducive for the tiger propagation. So there because the tiger is a good predator, so he should have adequate nutrition or adequate herbal this ruminant population etc. in the forest. Poaching to